Alright, thanks for watching, and as the year is ending, I figured since lots of people do the year in review, I figured I'm Dr. Peyam, I should do the decade in review. So let me tell you a couple of highlights that happened to me this decade. And by the way, this is completely improvised. I have no idea why I'm doing this. I have no idea what I'm gonna talk about. So let me start 2010. In the spring, I was still a senior at UC Berkeley. I had no idea what's gonna happen to me because I was applying for grad school and I was just waiting the whole time. And by the way, I have some sad confession to make. My last semester at Berkeley, I didn't take any math classes. I know. This is very embarrassing, but I think I was also very exhausted from applying, and I was also working on some research project on not homoclinic orbics. That was before on, I think, I remember that, harmonic maps, which are just Laplace's equation on surfaces. Pretty cool thing. Maybe I should talk about that one day. And I still remember I took this computer science class and it was very difficult and difficult and time consuming. And at some point I'm like, I really want to drop that class. And I still remember I was in lab and I was like, I want to drop it, but I'm so sad. It's one of my last classes in Berkeley. Maybe I'll never, maybe I'll never go to Berkeley again. And I still remember one day I got my acceptance letter in Berkeley during the CS lab. And I was like, oh my god. I immediately went on this telebear system where you add and drop classes. I dropped the class and in the middle of the lab, I just left. And I was like, goodbye. I got into Berkeley. I know, like a boss. Yeah. Anyway, so that was great. So I got into Berkeley and then I was like, well, but I had other schools I wanted to go to and I debated and then I talked with my PhD advisor right now. And I was like, okay, let's stay in Berkeley. So I did that. So end of spring semester was chill. And then fall semester was very interesting because I was in the same place, but like completely different people. So I was very confused, and actually, I had a huge imposter syndrome, which I still had, because in Berkeley, in undergrad, I was pretty good, I would say, and I was one of the best, No, it was really good, and then suddenly you go to grad school and you're like one of the worst, like everyone else is like so much smarter than you. So transition was a bit rough, but then it became better. And again, I highly recommend imposter syndrome, completely normal. It will get better, but the cool thing is it was also my first time teaching, so I was like super excited. I had like office hours whenever, and then I remember also my during the reading week. I know this video is all about how I was a bad student, but I had this take-home final. I didn't think about it at all and I got a bad grade in that class, but what I did was I had instead like review sessions for my students that were like 3 hours long, and I did like 4 times during the week, and then it was very exciting. I got to connect with the students, but it didn't help at all because that final was so hard. It was calculus and some crazy questions, but yeah. Alright, I did that, and then I remember also what was kind of cool is that in that fall, I was still like an undergrad, just like working, like taking the classes super seriously and stuff, and like worrying about my grades, right? Because that's what people do. And then in the spring of 2011, yay, I started feeling like being in grad school, right? So it's more like grades don't matter anymore, but you care about math. And that was like one of the most awesome transitions, because you just took classes and you connect with people again who love math, and then suddenly I understand the value of grad school. And if you're considering applying for grad school, totally do so, because it's very depressing, but very worth it. I promise you. So that was 2011, and then in the summer I taught my first course, like teaching. It was pretty cool. So it was Calculus 1. Yeah, very nice. The students were nice too. I still remember one day where we ran out of chalk, so I'd to teach class with this tiny piece of chalk. My hand hurt, but yeah. Worth it! At least the students now, they know the mean value theorem. So that happened, and then in the fall I taught linear algebra for the first time. So I love that course, man. I still remember. They laughed so much at the Legend of Zelda analogy. And then other than that, I started cooking. That was good. And I made crazy recipes. I still remember, and one day I made this pumpkin risotto that was very good, but it took me 4 hours to make, and at the end the garlic got burned. I was like, never again. But I did it again. It was very good, so you should try it out. Maybe ask me for the recipe. All right, and then 2012. Oh my God, the year of the quals. So in Berkeley, there's this thing called the qualifying exam where you're in front of 4 professors and they ask you about everything you know about their field of expertise. So you have, you can imagine I was in front of them being like, hello. Yeah, definitely by far the most stressful moment of my life. So stressful, I still have PTSD from this. And I don't mean Peyam Tabrizian super disorder. No. Very depressing, but I have to say, I never learned that much in my life. So now whenever I think about this, I'm like, oh, but I'm also like, wow, I wish I knew that much math, because I feel ever since it just went downhill. So that, and then, I taught my first class not first time, I taught linear algebra in the summer. That was also really cool. So I brought lots of cake, and then students, they knew a lot to eat, so they also brought me food, and basically every day was a food party. That was definitely one of my favorite classes. And then in the spring, so it was my first time not taking classes. So that's when you start doing research, and I started reading more research books. This one excellent one is called, I think, Measure Theory and Fine Properties of Functions by my advisor Evans. Yeah, I forgot. At some point I chose Evans to be my advisor, and I was like, congrats, it's amazing. World famous guy, by the way. And then I started reading books. One is Measure Theory and Fine Properties of Functions by Evans and Gariepi. If you love advanced measure theory, Vitali's covering level and Hausdorff measure, I highly recommend it. And then Functional Analysis by Brezis, my favorite functional analysis book. I think at least if you're in academia of free access. I don't know about other people. So I did that. I spent this, and then 2013. 2013 in January I went to Rome. My sister brought me there. It was amazing. I had the best gelato ever, and molto bene. And ever since I love traveling, so that was the beginning of a lot of travels for me. You'll see why. But other than that, started a bit sad, but everything's good now. And then, nothing much happened. So I just read research papers. And then in the fall, I believe, I got my first research project about the chemical reactions. So I did that, in the fall, I just spent reading that paper over and over again. And then, I think what did I do? And then 2014, that was okay. I was just reading more of those research papers, but I still remember, it was January, my mom was visiting, we were walking across a pet store, and a friend of mine showed me pictures of 2 rabbits, and I was like, oh, that is cute. And then I showed my mom those rabbits that were in that pet store, and she was like, you know what? We're gonna get them. I was like, you're crazy. But that happened, and that's how Oreo and Cookie were here. And yeah, you know Oreo, yeah, the same one, yeah, my fluffy. So that was nice at the beginning, and then April, my sister, got married. That was fun. We had the wedding in Rockefeller Center, like on top. It was cool. A 2-hour, very quick wedding. Chinese Iranian wedding, because her husband is Chinese and, well, she's Iranian. So that was really cool. And the marriage was in Soho. I'm sorry, in the morning it was in Rockefeller Center. In the evening, we took this library and we turned it into just a venue, which was amazing. So that happened, and then, let's see what else happened. Yeah, in the summer I just stayed in Berkeley, did research, and then in the fall I taught linear algebra. That was also very cool. I started being the popular TA, which was kind of nice. And then, okay, that was 2014. 2015, okay, I know, I talk about teaching, but yeah, I taught linear algebra, and also I started doing my research on chemical reactions and diffusions. And so that also took a long time, but very depressing most of the time, but I did have fun. And then in the spring, though, I went to Japan. You know, see, remember I told you I started traveling? So I went to Japan. Amazing. In fact, so great. I'm going there again this spring break. So I'm going to Kyoto for 2 days. And also Taipei and Seoul. So, but that's like next year. That's the next decade. So in 10 years, I'll make another video about this. And I forgot to say, 2014 I went to Italy, so there was this conference in Cetraro, like near the Adriatic in Calabria, and it was fun. And then I just did this trip where I went from Calabria to Napoli, had the best pizza, da Michele, and then Florence, Firenze, amazing steak, and I saw David, the statue. It was nice. I almost lost my backpack there, which is a problem because my thesis draft was in that backpack, and that was before backup, right? And then that was my heart is still beating thinking about this. Okay, but anyway, I was back in 2014. Now 2015, yeah, the summer was fun. I also did again research, and I went to Vegas for the first time. Yeah, oh yeah, Vegas baby, woo! Vegas, and I had this beautiful trip where I went from like San Francisco to Portland to Seattle and then to Alaska and then Vancouver, like exploring this because it was also my last year in Berkeley, and I was like, oh, I have not explored the West Coast at all. So that's what I did, and then that was so amazing. And in the fall 2015, actually my most depressing semester because I was applying for postdocs, so that was tough, but I somehow survived. And then I guess fast forward, that was 2015. Okay, I went, I know, it's all about food, but there's this restaurant called the French Laundry. Very famous, used to be the #1 restaurant in the world, and that one was in Napa Valley, so an hour away from where I lived, except it was impossible to get a reservation. So I called them, and literally I started calling at 8 a.m., and then at 3 p.m., finally someone took the phone. I know, like, what am I watching? This guy is crazy. But I took the phone, and they were like, sorry, we're booked out. And I was like, how is that possible? I called you like since 8 a.m. since you opened. And they're like, okay, but we can put you on the wait list. And I was like, sure, I'm not gonna get on that wait list. But anyway, and then I don't remember the date, but one day I got this random call and they were like, oh, we have a table for lunch. Okay. And that day, I remember I had like the flu, and I was like, oh no, I gotta see the best restaurant in the world, but like I have the flu. So I just I just took all this medication. I was like, go away, go away. And I think it's just all the adrenaline or something, but I could actually taste the food. It was amazing. Yeah, so again, if you want to impress me with food. Yeah, also at the disco years, I don't know, I started clubbing a little bit, and it was fun, because, you know, SF, right? San Fran, gotta have fun. It was 2015. 2016 was also super stressful because, well, I found, you know, I was waiting for postdoc applications, right? And then I thought it was like grad school where you wait till April. But my advisor was end of February and was like, I'm a bit concerned. You didn't get anywhere. And I was like, what do you mean? I have till February, till April. It was like, that's not how it works. And so like for a whole week, I was like panicking, right? Because I didn't have a job. But I still remember one day I got this call from Williams and they were like, we want you. I was like, you want me? It was amazing. So luckily I got it, and yeah, so the rest of the quarter was not, the rest of the semester was nice. I went to Vegas to celebrate. I went to a spring break in Hawaii, which was okay. I don't recommend Hawaii, but beautiful though. And then yeah, and then suddenly graduation time comes. I finish writing my thesis, and yeah, celebration. My family was there. We went to a bunch of fun places. I think we went to Lake Tahoe. It was fun, even though we had nothing to do there. So we just visited quickly and then went back. We went to Alcatraz, like all the touristy stuff. And then the summer was like my goodbye Berkeley summer. So I stayed there. I went to Seattle a little bit and just like had fun. Yeah, I went, said goodbye to friends and stuff. Even though, ironic because I'm back in SoCal, so not that bad. And then yeah, I flew to I flew to Williams in August, and then my bunnies survived. I was very worried about them in the plane, but it's totally safe. And then I went to Williams. It was fun. Oh my God. Like the first month, it was like, oh, the weather was beautiful. The leaves were turning red. It was like in Massachusetts. It's world famous. And I taught discrete math and like asymptotic methods in PDEs. And I thought it went well. Then let me finish this. So I thought it went well. And then, yeah, basically what happened though, in the spring 2017, I got my evaluations. I was kind of shocked. Apparently, they did not like it that much. But so for the beginning, I was again a bit sad. But then everything went better. Second time I taught discrete math, it went much better. And yeah, I mean, I love Williams. The people were super nice. I don't recommend the weather. It was very, very cold. In fact, one day, again, 2017, my car got stuck in, like, I was in my driveway going to class, but my car got stuck in the driveway because of the snow. And I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna walk all the way because I'm gonna come late to class. And at first I was telling the chair, not the secretary, I was telling her, please, my God, I love to talk. Yeah, I was telling her, please tell them I'll be a bit late. And she was like, no problem. And then after 10 minutes, I was like, I'm not gonna get to class. So tell them class is canceled. And I thought the students were like, oh no, I'm gonna miss Peyam. But it turns out they were like, yay, that professor is not here, which makes me sad. But anyway, so that was good. And again, I was applying, so I was now waiting for my second postdoc. But I still remember I talked to my advisor, my postdoc advisor here. And I told him, what about my application? Like, I've been waiting, it's like January. And I was like, oh, let me ask. And then literally the next day, I got the offer at UC Irvine. So I know I'm going back to California, baby. Yeah. So I did that. And this time I had more time. So I went from Williams College. I drove to UC Irvine. It was very hectic because lots of things happened. So first of all, my landlord wrote me a check for my security deposit. That one bounced the first time, so that was already, but it worked the second time, luckily. And then I was in Chicago having Lou Malnati's pizza. It was very good. But then my navigation system broke down. Yeah, and I'm bad at geometry. I'm bad at navigating, right? And I don't know what to do, but luckily I found this repair shop. One of the fuses broke, and then he just replaced it. $5, not a problem. And then I went, and then it was okay. Even though I remember the funniest moment was I was in Arkansas. I was like, I really want barbecue. And then I noticed Memphis, Tennessee is like an hour away. So I just did this 1 hour detour, and it was worth it. It was so good. And I did that. And then sadly, I went to Texas. Cookie passed away. That's why you never see her. Yeah. But Oreo is still happy and alive. And then I made it to UC Irvine. It was fun. I was so tired. I slept for the first 2 weeks. And in fact, I didn't even know I had an office mate, but I was just like sleeping on the bed in the office, and my office mate suddenly showed up. I was like, I have an office mate? But so one of the nicest guys I've ever met. So that happened, and then one day I get this message from Black Pen, Red Pen. He's like, oh my God, you're in Irvine, and let's meet up. And we met up, and he was like, Peyam, you're gonna have a YouTube channel. That is how Dr. Peyam got created. So it's the birth of Dr. Peyam. 2 years old now. Hooray. Thank you again. 35,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. And that happened, and yeah, I taught my first class, like my first UC Irvine class. That was fun. And then let's see, that was 2017. 2018, pretty chill. What did I do? Oh yeah, spring break. I went to Taipei, and I already forgot. Went to Taipei and Hong Kong and Singapore. That was fun. Highly recommend. In fact, Taipei is so amazing. I'm also going there for spring break. Yeah, 2020. That was good. And then yeah, the summer I went to Moscow, Russia. It was beautiful, I have to say. Highly recommend it. I remember at first I was scared to go there because of the bad things people talk about, but this is just nonsense. It was super safe, and super nice people. That, and then second year, so it was the first academic year. Second academic year was so much more fun because I taught really cool classes like vector calculus and linear algebra, advanced linear algebra. That was good. And then I just got the gist of it, of UC Irvine. It wasn't new anymore. And what do I want to say? So that was 2018, and then already 2019. Yeah, then 2019. It's this year, and again, I loved it because like all my new friends were still here, so we had so much fun. We went to Big Bear. We went to not Big Bear, Sequoia National Park. Again, beautiful. And then for spring break, I went to Vietnam, so Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi, and Bangkok was beautiful. Also, excellent food. It was too hot though, but it was good. So we had fun. And then in the summer, I went to Dubrovnik, Croatia. Oh my God! Like, you have to go there. It's beautiful. I was not expecting it to be so amazing, but definitely crystal clear waters, good food, nice people, and everything. And now we're back to this year, 2009, like fall 2019. I just finished teaching a class on linear algebra and PDEs. That was good. I crushed the PDE students after final. Sorry, but it was necessity. And what I'm gonna do in December, I guess I'm posting it after December, but it's my sister's 40th birthday, so happy birthday to her. And so I guess right now we're celebrating in New York, so that is good. And I've applied to teaching professor positions, so professor or teaching professor positions. Let's see how it turns out. We'll see. So, with all that said, I'm just rambling on. I wish you a happy 2020 and, a wonderful decade ahead. Let's see what's gonna happen. I have no idea. I mean, I would have no idea that I went to Berkeley for grad school and, Williams and UC Irvine. And looking back at this decade, I mean, I'm sad that I aged 10 years, but I got 2 degrees, bachelor and PhD. So, and I guess, like Blackpen Redpen says, a second PhD in integrals, so which I'll also give to Blackpen Redpen now, honorary degree. Alright, thank you for watching, thank you for being my subscribers. I hope you like this decade in review. If you want to see more math and more fun, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you!